Okay, guys, so here's basically the way it works. You know, if you've been a part of this, if you are part of the initiated, I, Attorney Walter Hnot of Disability Resolution PA, the most viewed and subscribed to Social Security disability attorney in America. Whoa. I go live every Tuesday and Thursday, and I answer questions for free. I do believe I'm the only attorney who does this really crazy act where anybody can just call in and ask any question, which is insanity from a legal perspective for me to have to try and figure out and answer anything that could pop up. The way other attorneys do it is they'll have like a pre-designated script, they'll have a side person taking comments and questions and then putting them onto my screen and basically feeding me answers. I don't have any of that. I don't even have a moderator for this because who the hell is going to be a moderator at 2:28 a.m. literally. So bottom line is we go live. They go straight to this phone right here, and the phone gets picked up by this microphone, and that's how we do it. We've been doing it for a while. We've been doing it for like years now, so it works. It's helped the community out immensely. It's super cool. So with that said, please remember to hit the like button. Please remember to subscribe or become a member. With that said, also, the rules are very simple. Very simple. You get 5 to 7 minutes. So it's a short period, quick question, answer. Use a fake name when you call in. Don't story mode. Have your legal question ready. Boom, we'll go into it. Remember, when I'm on the phone, I can't answer other callers because I am not genetically copyable because I have not allowed a lab to take me and make multiple of me. So the bottom line is like it's just me and whoever's on the phone. In fact, we had somebody leave a 1-star review on the law firm's Google account, which was absolutely horrendous because he basically said that I should be able to answer more free phone calls during the show. And to be fair, like that's not a fair reason to hurt my law firm and be like, oh, how dare you? That's just, so that's another thing too. If you guys like these, if I help you out, please go to Google and type in disability resolution law firm or disability resolution Florida. It'll pop up and throw some stars up there to show your love because it is what it is. Also, if you need more than 5 to 7 minutes, there's a mini contract below where you can hire me for an hour to go through your situation, advise you about, your impairments, run hearing questions with you, tell you about your transition from work to disability benefits, all that stuff. We have the first caller. All righty. Let's get this on speaker mode. Good. Okay. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yes, Attorney Walter. Thank you for answering my call. My question is, I'm going into reconsideration, and I want to know what should my lawyer be doing for me, and what is the new person that's going over my paperwork, what are they going to look for in order to approve me or go to a judge, in front of a judge?
So basically, you're just getting a different person that does the same job as the prior, person that was doing it. So a DDS rep at the initial filing is, the same thing as a DDS rep at the reconsideration period. It's just a different person. They're required to have a different adjudicator. They are not high-level judges. They are literally graduated from college individuals, and it's the number one job at the SSA that they cannot continue to hire enough people for because they're quitting too fast. As a result of that, the main functions they have to keep in mind is that they fill out what's called a DDE report, which is a disability determination explanation, which has different things in it. It has things like a grid out analysis, MDI analysis, stuff like that, where it basically goes through, okay, is this person moderate or severe? What are their, severe impairments? How long have their impairments lasted? What are the doctors saying about it? What do the medical consultants say about it? What do the medical experts add to it as part of the consultative examination? So what you need to do with your attorney at that point is call the attorney and say, okay, look, what was the reason that this really became denied? Not just like the cutesy thing that they put on the letter with the medical facilities in the very end of it, all that's what was the reason this claim was not strong enough? And that then requires the attorney, while you're on the phone, to go into the F folder inside the ERE and look through the medical records showing what's good, what's bad. What I like to do, basically is I look through the claim file and see what are the things that need the most improvement. And it could be something simple. It could be that there's no crisis medical treatment. It could be that the medications have been, used over and over and over, and basically they haven't, there's no severe medical or medications that are being used. The question as to how severe the individual is in question. We don't know if they're really that bad. Could be that there's no specialists on it. Could be that's just a bunch of PCPs without the actual tests that prove that particular impairment. Could be that you're just relying on maybe a CEME, which is a consultative examination medical expert from the SSA, who's the doctor for them, who basically says, hey, she's not that bad, blah, 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 because those doctors tend to be very pro SSA, very anti-claimant. So it could be a lot of things, but the bottom line is the attorney has to go through there and look at the stuff as to what doesn't look right. Now, I will tell you this. There is a problem, which is that a lot of the attorneys are not getting paid right now from the SSA. I'm one of them, haven't been paid over 2 months for claims that, I've won. And so the problem is, as we continue down this road, interacting with our so-called partner, the Social Security Administration, we are becoming less able to, with liquidity, hire and keep hiring people and keep the staff up to do all these other functions when the SSA is having these issues. Now, as a result of that, I would say this. There are some things that we are cutting out from services that we normally give. For example, always having a brief before every single hearing. Impossible to do now. Financially, it's just physically and financially, it's just impossible to do that. We don't make enough per claim to hire the staff to allow me to just work on a brief for 5 or 6 hours for that claimant before the hearing. It's just there's not enough money in it anymore. However, looking into the file for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, I think 3 hours is too much. Even 2 hours is too much. But looking into the file in the F folder and trying to figure out real quick, basically what's going on, why it failed, that's fine. But a lot of functions or a lot of additions that we used to do are starting to be curtailed back, and we've actually stopped taking claimants that were basically the 50-year-olds. We're now mostly just taking claimants that are 55 plus. A lot of that is we don't have tons and tons and tons of unlimited funds because we spend a lot of time and effort per claim. And so we're trying to have just the claimants that we know are more likely to go through, because the SSA keeps closing the doors on the likelihood of individuals that were in that gray area to be found disabled. So things are changing in the legal atmosphere of this going forward. And the custom firms that do all the custom work are slowly evolving more towards what all the big box firms have been doing all along, which is very little to hardly any shit at all. So I get a lot of calls from people who are basically super ripping pissed that their, prior law firm or whatever didn't do anything or didn't do this, didn't communicate with them, and yada, yada, yada. And that happens because they just don't make that much per claimant. So they just let the receptionist kind of take care of that stuff. Although there is another side to that, which is like once per year, there's always one person per year who basically says, hey, I want to get a different attorney. And they're almost always from a fancy pants area. That's like Winter Park or Winter Garden or something like that. And what they do is they basically say, well, I only want to go ahead and have you, if basically you are part of a big box firm, or you have a house in my area that's been converted into a law firm that just looks like a little law firm, little sign out front house and yada, yada, because that's what those rich individuals tend to like. And the thing is, what's ironic about it is that you have all these different types of people. You have people who just want the job to be done. They want to be able to interact with the attorney, and that's 99.999% of them. And then you'll get 1% that will be like, well, you don't look like the Jewish attorney I want to hire. You don't look old enough for me to want to hire you. Your office doesn't look like the little house that was converted on the main street into a law firm. And so that's one of the things I know. Once per year, I'll have one of those clients that will switch to a big box firm. And almost every single time they will come back to me down the line and apologize to me. And I've always appreciated that. And I've always showered them with appreciation for that, because that to me was always like a big thing. When they realized they screwed up, that was to me like a big, because it's not, I mean, it's a little hurtful, but it's kind of like it's like when somebody leaves a 1-star review and it's valid. Not like these crap 1 stars where it's like either a spam bot or somebody calls up and they're like, you have to tell me how to win everything and do everything. You have to do everything for me. And they're not even a client. You're just like, who are you? And then they leave a 1-star review. They're like, customer service shit, stuff like that. You get those people. And it's also going to be a high likelihood in this industry because, to be fair, at the end of the day, a lot of them are mentally unsound. Anxiety, depression, panic attacks, all that jazz tends to lead to instability. But with your situation, you want to get the attorney on the phone. That's number one. You want to ask them what's in the F folder. You want to ask them what's not good about the claim. What are the problems? What are the silver bullets? And don't forget to check if you can, some of the earnings stuff. So I'm going to run some quick questions with you. We're at 7 minutes. I'm going to give you another 2.5 to 3 minutes real quick. What are your top 5 impairments?
Well, I'm blind in one eye and partially blind in another eye.
Okay.
I'm in 3rd stage kidney.
Okay.
I have diabetes. I have neuropathy, really bad.
Okay.
I'm on gabapentin, constantly, and other drugs for my blood pressure and all kinds of other stuff. So, and I'm 62. So it's hard for me to get up in the morning. Yeah.
So the kicker is, are you going to be taking retirement benefits at 62?
No.
Okay. So then, okay. And here's the reason why. When you take those retirement benefits, each month that you're receiving the retirement benefits, there's no back pay that the attorney can get paid from. So their interest in the claim dives when that happens. So with that said, wow. Oh, also, I got to do a shout out real quick. Deb Carter gifted 5 memberships to this, to this channel, which is absolutely incredible. That was to Daniela, Divine, Kathy, Raymond, Star. That's absolutely amazing. So if everybody could somehow digitally give a clap, a hand to Deb Carter, that would be absolutely amazing. That is huge. That is just so incredible.
That's very nice of her.
Yeah, it's super, super amazing. Just the support I get from this channel helps me erase working with the homeless like I do on Wednesdays, because boy, they're a tough
really
group.
Good guy for doing that.
It's tough too, because they are struggling right now, because the people that normally give them extra cash or like go sweep that over there and I'll give you $20, those people don't have any money right now. So it's a really tough thing. For your particular situation, so what they're going to be looking for are limitations in actual capacity to go ahead and do things, because none of those sound like they're at severity level for, on their own limitation where you get a listing level, element 3 approval. So the blindness, you would need, one eye blind, the other eye damn near blind, where it's, basically you could only see the big E at the top of the Snellen chart. But let me ask you this. All those things are going to be musculoskeletal limitations. So how far can you walk as a result of those limitations?
I can walk maybe for 10 minutes.
Okay. So 10 minutes doesn't really tell me anything, because anybody can walk at different, you could be power walking for 10 minutes. Like how far?
Slowly, I guess you would call that a block.
Okay, gotcha. So you could walk a block. Can you tell me, do you use any ambulatory devices?
I can.
Okay. Was it prescribed to you?
Yeah, yes.
Who prescribed it? Was it a PCP? Was it a specialist?
No, my doctor recommended it.
General practitioner?
Yeah, my general doctor.
Okay. So let me ask you this. When it comes to, basically being able to lift items, how much do you think you could lift with your right hand?
Probably a couple pounds now. I used to be able to do more.
Okay. How long do you think you could stand before you have to sit down?
The same, 5 or 10 minutes, and then the arthritis, is the problem too at the same time of having neuropathy. So that's a lot for me.
Okay. Talk to me about sleep studies, falling asleep on time, waking up on time. What does that look like?
I don't get good sleep at night because sometimes I'm in the bathroom for a few hours at night, and my stomach is upset from the meds I'm taking.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, no, I don't get good sleep. I maybe get a few hours of sleep a night because the meds keep me awake, and then I don't wake up till late. It's just a vicious cycle. That's what it is.
When was the last time that you worked over the table?
Haven't worked for 2 years.
Okay. What was the type of job that you had 2 years ago?
Outside sales and notary work.
Okay. When was the last time you were in the hospital emergency room?
Emergency room, 2016 and 2015.
All right.
I was in the hospital for a few days both times.
Have you renewed any of your certifications or gotten any new education over the past 3 years?
No, not since I did my notary.
All right. So your attorney needs to...
I can't see the documents,
Gotcha.
Get got to be able to see the documents in order to do that job.
Yeah.
And to be able to drive,
Your attorney really, really, really needs to work on the grid out procedure, do a DOT analysis with you on your past work, and figure out how to make sure to increase the likelihood that your statements and RFC letters submitted to the SSA are within grid out potential for your age group, so that you could easily beat sedentary, light, and medium waste work. So put another way, that is your main goal. You should be looking up grids, your age group, making sure your alleged onset date is like 60 plus, and rolling the dice from there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mainly the grid out, because they wouldn't look at my sicknesses as serious enough?
Well, none of them are severe enough, like marked enough for one impairment to get you there. So then you're left with vocational allowances, and vocational allowances have a special group called grid outs, and those grid outs are what you fall into if you're 60 plus. So they're going to look at your past work, see if you can do your past work. If you can't do your past work, then you're looking at grid out potential.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I mean, that was very helpful, and I watch your show all the time, and I wish I had found you first. Otherwise, I would have hired you.
Yeah, no worries. We are overloaded, so no worries.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you do the grid outs, just as a quick side note, make sure you do a dictionary of occupational titles review, because remember, one of the things that tends to pop up is that some of these jobs can be kind of like labeled different things inside that system. So the main functional thing just to kind of keep in mind with it is make sure you pick out 2 potential options for each DOT and prepare to beat 2 potential options if a vocational expert proffers a particular, I call it agenda, but a particular vocational option.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
I wrote that down.
Perfect.
Okay. That sounds great.
Excellent.
Well, I'll keep watching you, and thank you so much. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Have a wonderful
Thank you for your
night.
good work.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. So I want to do a huge shout out basically to Diana, who just did a 5 membership donation, which is absolutely amazing. That's just incredible. Looks like it's me, Angie, Mary Multiple, Amanda Hollingsworth, Kristen N, and WTF6691. That's awesome. So please, guys, if you could do a digital clap to Diana Fernandez, that would be absolutely incredible. We do have our next caller on the phone. Remember to use a fake name throughout this. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a question about something that they say in a letter, and when I've asked them about it, they act like I'm speaking some alien language.
Okay.
It says, where is it? Right here. You can review the information in your case. The decision in your letter are based on the law and information in our records. You have the right to review and get copies of the information in our records that we use to make this decision explained in this letter. You also have the right to review and copy the laws and regulations and policy statements used in deciding your case.
Yeah.
To do so, please contact us. And I have, and they act like I'm trying to pull one over on them. So how do I go about getting that?
You call them and ask for a copy of your exhibit disc, and they will send you basically your exhibit disc, which includes the exhibits for your file. That's not going to have all the policies in it. It'll have some of them in the explanation summary documents, but that'll have your, disability development documents, non-disability development documents. Yeah.
And if they don't, because I've asked I've gone down with that before, and they've told me that I can't get anything from them. So what do I do in that case? Go to the next.
So one of the problems people keep running into is that the field office staff are not doing what they're supposed to do. This is the lack of a number of employees, lack of training of the employees, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at that point, honestly, I would just recommend getting an attorney to go ahead and work on it, because they can submit a formal request. You should be able to submit a formal request as well.
That's what Like if I have an attorney, they can. Like I
They can log in.
Yeah. When I was trying, I stumbled across when I was trying to log into my account that like I was in the wrong area or whatever, and it was for like attorneys or representatives or whatever, and it looks like you guys get a lot more access than even we do.
Oh, way more. We see inside the ERE.
So why is that if it's our accounts? Why don't we have that access? That's so weird.
Well, you wouldn't know what to do with the documents and systems in there. Like that's the fair answer. Like it's not like a cutesy little My Social Security, the easy bake oven says you're at 20%. It's.
I wish they at least put like the letters that they send us and all of that in our so we can go and see. My other question is, how you can go in and see your payments that you've gotten.
Yeah.
The amounts and everything.
Yeah.
They keep trying to get me for overpayments, but in the letters they send me, like nothing's changed, so there's no reason for there to be an overpayment. But the letters they send me don't explain why there's an overpayment. And I keep getting, this has been like the past, like probably since COVID, I keep getting one-time payments, and it says for $0.
So, I mean,
why would they, if it's nothing, why would they even put that in there? But then they end up disappearing. Like I make copies of it when I see it on there, but then they like disappear from that I even got them. But I'm being like penalized. Like they said, I got an overpayment of $4,000 something, and I didn't. And I gave them the documents to prove that I didn't get that. And I still paid in because they said that I owed the money, but now it's like erased from my thing, and it was found in my favor and stuff. It's just like I don't know how I even go about, because it's happened so many times. I don't even know how I go about fixing that.
So the main thing is the SSA is actually in trouble with court systems, the Senate, House, Congress, because the letters they send out about overpayments are dreadfully not filled with enough information to know what the basic problem was. It's like, hey, we're giving you an overpayment. Sucks to be you. It's absolutely terrible. So they're working on that. That's one of the things that Commissioner Martin O'Malley has been literally put in place to fix. So that's a big thing. With that said, all right. So the first thing you have to do is get an accounting explanation of the overpayment. So do you have a letter that actually explains to you per month why they believe the overpayment occurred?
No.
Okay. So the first thing to do is send an SSA 795. Basically requesting to the local field office, or if you're not getting a response, the regional field office, basically,
795.
SSA 795 requesting that they send to you a financial write-up, month by month financial write-up on why they believe you have an overpayment. And then also get ready to fill out an SSA 561 and also an SSA 632. You can go ahead and do an SSA 632 first, and then you can begin the process of doing like an SSA 561 if they're, beginning to.
632?
Yeah, 632, yeah.
And what is that? What are those?
So SSA 632 is the document requesting that they withdraw or reduce the amount of overpayment that you actually, have to pay. The other option.
Didn't you say that we could pay as little as $10? If you're on SSI?
I mean, they do give those options now, but they're usually trying to get a little bit more than that. So, 75, 150, somewhere in there.
They looked like I was crazy too.
Yeah, no, $10 is on the very, very low amount. They have done those. I have claimants that literally only pay $10 with their overpayment, but they're usually shooting for like $75 to $150 from SSI people.
It's just like, it's crazy because they gave me an overpay. I was getting SSI, SSDI, and I had applied for disabled little child benefits, and I wasn't approved, but once I got approved, I guess my father wasn't on it anymore. So, but they acted like for those 2 years while they were like seeing if I was eligible, that they had been giving me those payments from when I applied.
Gotcha.
And I had the bank statements and I had the Social Security, my online accounts showing the amounts and what they were saying was wrong. And I sent them the bank statements and everything, and they still kept. And then finally it vanished. It like disappeared and said that because it said it was being appealed or whatever, that I was appealing it. And then it disappeared. But then they started taking money out of my account, saying that I got a one-time payment for $4,700. So they're acting like they thought they made a mistake, and then they gave me that money when I wasn't supposed to get that money in the first place. But they didn't give it to me, so it showed up as a zero payment. But now I'm I'm
Overpayment
being
land,
forced
yeah.
to pay it back. It's just like, it's so much. I don't know how people that have less, mentality can even deal with it or handle it, because it's hard.
It's mind-boggling, and to be honest with you, they have a lot of problems they got to iron out, and Congress is watching Martin O'Malley right now to see if he can get it done.
But it's not like they're going to go back in their records and try and, see when they screwed us over and give us money back,
They do. They do. They do. They go back and find
do?
underpayments. They do. They do. But I mean, you have to push the right buttons to get there. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want to push too hard, because then I'll get kicked out.
No, I mean, you have legal rights,
I try to avoid going there at all costs. And
Yeah.
I like the 800 number. That's the big office, because they give you completely different information than if you go down to the local field office, and
Yeah.
I avoid a lot of trouble that way.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
This is Scott, and my family has a large lawsuit involving the death of my mother in an assisted living center.
Okay.
And they're getting ready to settle it, and it's going to be very large from what we're hearing.
Okay.
And they're going to split it between the siblings.
Okay.
I've been on SSDI now since 2010 and never had any problems. I just need to know, how can this affect me, and what should I do?
So it's probably not going to be affecting you at all if you're an SSDI Title II person, but it depends on how they disperse the funds to you, whether or not they get categorized as income. They might be non-countable, in which case they just become a resource and they don't affect your SSDI benefits at all. But if they somehow distribute them to you in some weird way that they become, countable, actual, payment to you or whatever, then in that instance, you just won't get disability benefits for that month. And then the next month, you will continue to receive your disability benefits.
Okay. I'm hearing it could be several $100,000.
Yeah, not going to affect it. Remember, you're an SSDI or you're not an SSI. If it's SSI, you got to do a whole spend down thing. But if you're SSDI, if they processed it to you the proper way, not accountable form of income, it's just a one of those kind of cases, then it won't affect you at all.
Should I inform Social Security about it?
You can give them a heads up. That's fine. You can write it down on 795 and say, hey, I'm going to be receiving a larger amount. But I mean, until you know the actual larger amount, I would wait till you can give them specifics, when you're going to receive it, when it's going to be deposited, what the amount is, stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What about buying a house? Can I do that?
Yeah. So what I always recommend to people is buy a house, rent the rooms, have somebody else manage the rental, and then that rental income is non-countable income because it's investment income. And bottom line is that it's like you didn't work at income. And then you get to keep those payments, and you get to keep your benefits at the same time. And you get to have a house that keeps increasing in value. And that's just the smartest investment you can do.
Wow, that's a big relief, Walter.
Yeah.
I've just been sitting on pins and needles trying to figure out what I ought to do.
Yeah.
I've just been worried.
Yeah, no worries.
And I mean, this is a life-changing amount of money for me.
Sure, yeah.
And the last thing I need is the feds on me,
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate your help, Walter, and I'll make a donation to your channel as soon as I can.
No worries, good sir. I mean, if you do, that's awesome. Big thing is if you could leave some stars up on that Google, just type in disability resolution up on Google and throw some stars up there. I always appreciate those. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've done that multiple times.
Oh, excellent. Well, I super appreciate
I've
it.
been listening to you for quite a while now, and I appreciate your help. You just relieved my tension a lot.
Excellent. Well, you have a wonderful night. Yeah.
You have a great evening or morning.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye, good sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's awesome. That's very, very good. What I want to do is, I love all the hearts from Diana and Deb Carter with the little happy hearts. That's awesome. Very, very cool. This is going to be the last call. Last call of the night. Here we go. Here we go. And speakers on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to mute the computer or TV on your side. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is actually a VA question.
Okay.
Okay, so a year ago, like let's just say April 20th, I submitted an intent to file.
Okay.
And my claim was
for compensation, right? For disability compensation.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
Correct. And then my claim was awarded for April 20th of this year.
Okay.
And they didn't. And my claim was submitted on April 20th of this year.
Okay.
Within the time frame.
Okay.
But they didn't honor it. So I'm just wondering, they just said in the decision letter it's based on when the claim was received. And so I'm just wondering, should I just do a higher level review and send in proof of the screenshots of the e-benefits page showing my intent to file was on file?
Did you already contact them and ask them what the holdup is? Like, yeah.
Well, I called DC. They said talk to the regional office. I left a message in the regional office last Friday, and then on Tuesday, and then today, because they said they'll contact you within 48 hours, and I haven't heard from them.
Oh man, yeah, call them again, because keep in mind, like, they got a lot going on. So bottom line is, call them again. You should be, if you have to go through a further review, like appeal it upwards, you're going to lose a lot of time waiting for somebody to actually get assigned to that puppy. So give them a call again, try to push it. Now, if they really are ignoring you, you can go up to a higher management level. But if you're still working on this 2 weeks later, then it's appeal time. But you should not have to get to that level.
Okay, and that would just be a higher level review, right? Not a supplement.
Depends on what you click off as for your options, because you have multiple review options that you can do. Yeah.
Okay. And then if I can ask one other quick question.
Yeah.
I have someone that I know that is on SSI.
Mm-hmm.
In December, they lost their Direct Express card,
Mm-hmm.
and then they got a new one issued,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess they didn't get a new PIN number created for them.
Yeah.
And so now Social Security is saying that they're not going to get, I guess, a month of their benefits because they didn't create a new PIN number, and that was their fault when she went into the SSA office to get the new Direct Express card.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, how can I help her?
So you said the SSA actually told her that she would not be able to get her benefits because of a PIN number?
Yeah, because they said it was her fault that she didn't have created a new PIN number for the new Direct Express card.
Yeah, but I mean, why didn't she just call the
Doesn't
phone
make
number, on the back of the card to go ahead and, have them go ahead and give her a proper PIN?
I don't know, because she just called me the other day and stuff. It's somebody that was trying to help with something else.
And she told you the SSA told her, but you don't really know if the SSA actually told her that.
No, I haven't gotten onto a conference call with her yet.
Okay, so phone number on the back of the green,
private?
directed. Yeah, there's a phone number. Just call that. The other thing too is that if she's truly having an issue, she can call a manager at the local field office and request a meeting time where they can go ahead and process the check for the additional benefit to put it onto the card. It's probably already sitting on the card. Literally probably already sitting on the card. She just can't access the card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I try to refer as many people as I can to you through my other business.
I super appreciate it. Excellent. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too. Get some rest.
Oh, yes. I'll catch you later. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, we'll take one more phone call. One more. We're going to Baker's dozen this thing, even though I have no idea how many calls we actually did. Keep in mind, tomorrow I'm on vacation. So, just as a heads up, I'm going to be driving up to New Jersey, and then I go up to Maine. So just keep that in mind. Tomorrow I officially go on vacation. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot, Disability Resolution PA. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Walter.
Howdy.
Hey, I'm having a problem. I'm on SSI, and some doctor is talking to my brother I live with, and she's telling him all kinds of things that she's going to put me in a mental institution for the rest of my life and all these things. And I asked, what is her name? And he refuses to tell me. What? I haven't done anything that would cause that. What can they actually do?
To put you in a mental facility? I mean, in order to do that, you would have to be at the point where, now, are they saying just a living facility or an actual, like, sanatorium or behavioral institute?
He's not clear about it. He just tells me these things and then won't tell me anything else.
Man, he's giving you bullshit. Like he's giving you a runaround. In order for you to go into a sanatorium or behavioral institute, like there has to be a reason where your medication, your treatment, your therapy is not working. So things where basically the family has to intercede and go ahead and work on the problem. So your psychologist, psychiatrist, or behavioralist is saying, "Oof, it's getting bad," and your family members saying, "Woo, we can't control him. He's dangerous." Yada yada. So, are you dangerous or not really?
No, I'm not suicidal, homicidal, and none of my doctors have said that. As a matter of fact, one of my doctors just put out on a report that I'm to see and said I was sane.
So why is your brother saying this stuff? What's the deal?
I don't know. He's a little odd, but the things he says, I know he's talking to an SSA doctor because he wouldn't have this information otherwise.
Sounds like he's bullshitting you, man. Really does. Sounds like he's full of baloney and ketchup that you put between the bread. It just sounds like a BS sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walter, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely, sir. Have a wonderful night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye. I hope you guys are all doing super duper well. Please remember, if I helped you out with one of these calls, to go to Google, type in disability resolution, throw some stars up there. Please remember to like and subscribe to the video and the channel. Also, a super thank you to Deb Carter and Diana Fernandez, who are super fans, which is just absolutely amazing. Because I actually, when I don't see Diana, I actually get like, I have a little part of me dies on the inside. When I don't see her in the video, I'm like, oh, this sucks. But anyways, Deb Carter also, love little #1 fan hand thing, which is awesome. I will catch you all not tomorrow. I won't catch you tomorrow. I won't catch you tomorrow because I'm going on vacation, because I have to go to the farm and basically do more weed whacking for a couple of days, and then I get to go up to Maine. And as you know, I love going to Maine because the culture up there is like blueberry beer and blueberry muffins and blueberry cake and blueberries just in a little blueberry container. Man, it's just, and in Maine, they don't have regular blueberry containers. They do have them, but they don't use them. They have these like little green shitty containers. They're just magic. They're just, when you get handed one of those, you're like, I'm in the forest with the bears. And it's just so amazing. I might go on a hike up there. I might take Shadow for a hike, which means, I'll be carrying him half the way back. But, or Sweetie will probably make it about 10 feet and then demand treats and steak. But that's how Sweetie is. Sweetie's a very spoiled little chubby girl. With that said, Sweetie did fail the veterinarian test. Unfortunately, they said she was 89 pounds. They'd like to see her down to 85 and then even lower than that. I said, look at her ribs. They said those were fat rolls. So working on that. So anyways, I will catch you guys later. My apologies for being late tonight. It was a really weird reason for being late tonight. I'm not going to go into it. I'll give you a little snippet. I was trying to learn how to better shape my beard and do that stuff, watching videos on it. And when I was in the shower, I had one of those little trimmers where it's a guy trimmer where half of it is plastic and then it has the metal ones here. And I was basically trying to trim my beard, and I noticed a nose hair, and I was like, you know what? I got this. I'm not going to use the tweezers. I'm not going to use the tweezers. I got this. So I took the tool. I took the power tool, and I put it up to my nose, and a little son of a gun nipped me right in the nostril. And it was horrible. I was singing in the shower, screaming. I sounded like I was Celine Dion. It was like the Titanic. And then as this was all going on, the water was running out of hot water because my house is made out of toothpicks and candle wax. And basically it was just like the Titanic. I was freezing to death, and my nose was, I didn't bleed. So it's like that machine where you could slide wood into it, but it won't cut your finger. It'll just make you sad. So, it was a really unfortunate event. I lost literally an hour because of that. By the way, if one of those little plastic teeth is broken, it will snag things, just as a heads up, just so that you're aware as to how those work. So Anyways, I was, that's the thing. I was like, I wasn't gonna go get like the tweezers because I was like, I'm a man. I got power tools. So then it all went to shit very badly, very badly. So that was my Titanic moment. Anyways, I will catch you a little bit later. That was probably sharing a little bit too much. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we will go from there. I will see you over the next couple of days. I'm going up to New Jersey to work a little farm work. I will be calling people. I didn't catch up to everybody today, but I will be calling people tomorrow, and I will be catching up basically probably on Saturday or Sunday. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. We'll go from there, and thank you so much. All right, everybody. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.